Happy International Women's Day, International Women's Month. My name is B.Achaleke. I am the serial author of the Africa for Smart Kids book series and publisher of Global Books. Today, I'm here to introduce you to my youngest book, the youngest on the shelf. And I'm so excited because this book is on Amazon for you. It's now available on Amazon for you. And I'm sure if you're as excited as I am, you want to know what this book is all about. But before I take you behind the scene and show you what it is, what you get from that book, let me tell you why I wrote this book. Growing up as a little Black girl in Cameroon, I had my grandmother who was my absolute role model. I had my mothers around me. But when I looked beyond my space, there was like, there's no woman to inspire you. When you look into school books, you listen to the news, you check the media, and you listen to what public opinion says about African women, it's like they're non-existing. It's like they got nothing to offer. It's like, you know, the legacy is completely ignored, forgotten, or misinterpreted, misrepresented. So when I set out writing the Africa for Smart Kids book series, I came across the first African women female president. And back then in 2018, I thought like there was just Sirleaf Ellen Johnson, or there was just President Joyce Banda. But when I set out to do my research, I discovered a whole lot of them. And I also discovered that many of them have been here a long time ago. They've been on the journey. Like the first woman who became the United Nations, the president of the United Nations General Assembly, the president of the United Nations Security Council. I mean, this was in the 60s. Can you imagine that? And these women are not being talked about. So when I came across them, I thought I got to write a book. I just got to find each one of them, gather them together in one spot, so that I can bring them to you and your children, so that we don't go reinventing the stories of African women, because they have a very rich legacy. So it started with Africa's female presidents and prime ministers, and I got hungry. I just wanted more. So I went to Europe, where I spent 20 years. And because there are no female presidents there, I took the female ministers, the first women of African descent to become ministers in Europe. And then I jumped over to the Americas, starting with North America, and I found a few women for you there. And then in the Caribbean, a whole lot, and another few in South America. So this is what is in store for you in this book. And I'm so excited to walk you through, so that you really know what is in here, what a jewel, how precious, and what kind of uplifting women, inspiring women, incredibly powerful, fearlessly ambitious women you will find in this book. So follow me in the back screen, follow me behind the screen, and I will show you what you can expect from this. In the back scene, now it is time for me to walk you through this exciting book. And as you can see on my screen, this is the title, is 102 Trailblazers in this book for you. This book spotlights the world's first female presidents, prime ministers, governors generals, and in Europe, like I mentioned, the first women of African descent to become ministers. And in North America, we're looking for governor generals and the first female secretaries of state. And in South America, we're looking for ministers. In the Caribbean, we're looking at all our governor generals, the presidents, and prime ministers. So this book has 102 trailblazers in here for you. I went back to Africa again to pick some role models, some powerful queen mothers who paved the way to all this for all these trailblazers, and for you and I, right? So this is the book that is here for you, 102 trailblazers, and I will just quickly walk you through the chapters. In between, I just fill the pages with some affirming words, some powerful inspirational words that I got from our trailblazers. And then you have the table of content, and all these women are lined up for you in there. And let me take you back to the table of content. So after you go through all the women, in the end, you have your glossary, because there's some powerful, some words, or some especially British honorary words in the book. Should I call it honorary? There are titles that are in the book that you may not really understand. I had to go searching for them. So I put up a glossary for you so that you get to understand some of those titles. And like in all my books, there is always a call to action. You can't just read and put aside. You have to take action. And so there is a call to action in this book. And then because it comes with, in different versions, you'll see the different versions that you can have. And of course, other Globuntu books that are on the market for you, because I write a series of books. And the project team, you'll find the project team. So if you're curious about what all of this is about, let me just quickly run you through the book. Right now, we have our preface, and then we have about the book, where I just give you some details, what it is and what you can expect is all in about the book. And then you get some useful tips for if you're a reader, on how you can best explore this book, how you can best get the best out of this book. I'm excited. Excuse me for stuttering a little bit. The book just came out yesterday, and this is the first that I'm talking about, so you understand my excitement. There is a chapter on the structure, so I tell you a little bit about the sections and what they're all about, and then we just get into the content. With a map of Africa, I point out for you the countries where all these incredible women are coming from. And as you will see, I line them up. This is not a detailed book where you get the biographies of all these women. No, it's just like a photo album. It's a picture album. It's here to entice you. It's here to invite you. And when you read also about the book, you will understand that I'm not here to give you the whole life of this woman, because they're just too big to fit into one book. Each one of them is a library. It's a book on its own. So I just give you the images and give you some, invite you to do more work, to pick them and journey with them and write their stories. And when you read my call to actions, you see all kinds of things that you can do with this book right there. So I just walk you through the chapters and give you all those women. The pictures are all illustrated because some qualities of the pictures were not very good, and I needed to have them in high resolution. So I kind of got the pictures illustrated. It took my young illustrator and myself and the young sponsor of this book, as you'll see at the end of the book, it took us over 3 years to put all this book together. Now we cross Africa and we're getting to Europe. That's the section in Europe. And then you see all these incredible women that have been, that are still, having lived in Europe for 20 years and tried to get into the political scene, stood for political elections, parliamentary elections in Austria. I know how hard it is for a woman of African descent to stand up for political office. So I just had to put these women in to salute them, to appreciate them for the effort that they put in. Now we're in North America, and some of the faces may be familiar to you, some may not. I was really amazed when I found each one of them, when they pop up one by one on my screen, and I had to put them here. Now we are in the Caribbean. This is where you find all the governors generals, and you find, this is South America with the first female ministers of African descent. So I have it all mixed up here, the Caribbean and South America, they're all in one. And of course, this is the glossary that I mentioned to you in the beginning, and our call to actions with some very encouraging questions there and things that you can take away from the book. And here we have the other versions of the book. I knew that in order to get these trailblazers into our houses, our libraries, our boardrooms, into our cars when we're traveling, to get this information as mobile and as accessible as possible, I needed to do different versions of this book. So you can find them in the form of flashcards. They come in the form of flashcards, so that when you're in the car traveling with your children, you can take them along with you. We also have them in the form of posters. You can print them and put up in your offices. These ones, they are singles. You can do a whole exhibition in your school or in your boardroom or in your community center. You can have them all exhibited, all 102 of these women. You can have them all there. And this is the poster that you can print and put in your children's room. And for the very little ones, this is the one that is coming up. This particular one is going to be a painting book, so that they get to know all the faces. Just imagine our younger ones getting the colors and trying to paint these women, bring them up to life. This is the best empowerment tool, uplifting tool that you can give the girls. I mean, if as a young child I had the possibility to do that, I don't know how that would have transformed my life. I know it would have in many ways. And so to close the chapter, I just give you some other Globuntu books and resources. And because this is just a quick video to introduce this book, I'm going to end right here and invite you to make sure that you get a copy of this book. Get your copy. If you haven't as yet, make sure you get one, because this is another call to action. Once you get your copy, take a picture of you and the book and send it to me. And once I get it, I am going to send you a complimentary version of this book. It could be a poster. It could be, probably something that you will like and that will complement the book for you. So I'm done doing the job. Now it's over to you. Please help me spread the word. Get your copy of the book. Make sure that you send me a picture of you with your book so that I can send you your complimentary gift. And let's all collectively take pride, take ownership of these women, let them inspire us, and let us drive them like, let's go. Position them into world history, because in this time, we can't afford to be invisible anymore, because these women, these incredible women, have created a legacy for us, and we just have to own and drive it. So my name is B.Achaleke. I'm the proud author, and I can't wait to welcome you as a proud reader. So I'll see you soon.